Look at all these people. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. So as people begin to arrive, go ahead and just already begin bringing awareness to your breath. Hi, Kristen. Light a candle. Begin calling back your energy from your day. I'm going to light a candle here. It is a protection candle for us. And I'm going to light a Virgin de Guadalupe candle for us. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share this stuff with you. And hi, Carissa. Nice to see you all. So continuing to bring awareness to your breath, settling into your body. I'm going to give people a few more minutes here. Release any tension in your feet, in your ankles, in your calves. Long, slow, deep breath. Fully arriving here. The veil is very thin at this time of year. Release any tension in your thighs, in the back of the thighs, front of the thighs. Settling in. Beginning to feel the weight of your body. Calling your energy back to you. Cleansed and cleared, cleansed and cleared, cleansed and cleared. Release any tension in the torso, in the hips, in the stomach, in the rib cage. Long, slow, deep breath. Breath of life. Releasing any tension in the lungs, in the heart, in the space in between each of your ribs. Releasing any friction in the shoulders. Creating space with the breath, with your attention. We're already releasing what no longer serves us. Releasing tension in the biceps and the triceps, in the elbows. Forearms, your wrists. Release any tension in your hands, in the knuckles, in the fingernails, the finger beds, or the nail beds. There's tension. Let it go. Release any tension in the back of the neck. Kind of move your neck around a little bit. Release the front of the throat, your ears, your jaw. Release any tension in the tongue, in the lips, in the roof of the mouth. Release any tension in your sinuses, the back of the head, and the sutures where your bones came together a long time ago. Release any tension there. Feeling the weight of your body, your presence. Release the front of your eyes, your eyelashes, your eyebrow. Lots of tension there. And then into the back of the eyes, releasing tension in the back of the eyes. And as we release this tension, we're making room for our own energy. We're making room for our soul in that space. Long, slow, deep breath. Fully arriving. Becoming meditative. This is what it's like. Having full awareness of parts of your body you usually do not think about. Long, slow, deep breath. Adjusting your perception of who you are, what you're capable of. With the breath, with your awareness, your perception. You are perception. Bring yourself back to this space. Gently. Maintaining that breath. Maintaining long, slow, deep breaths in, into the belly, and out. Anywhere you begin to feel tension, you're just releasing it. Anywhere you feel friction in the body, you are releasing it. You're letting it go. Thank you for coming today. My name is Kelly Rae. Clearly, you already know that. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm originally from the East Coast. I grew up in Maryland and lived in New York City for 17 years and have now lived here for, since 2015, so 8 years. And I live with my son, I live with my boyfriend, and we have 4 cats, and we have a tortoise. And they are a very big part of my life and my family's life. And one of the things that I really had to dive into very, very seriously over the whole course of my life, but really recently, meaning since about 2018, was I had to really figure out for myself how to protect myself energetically. I had to figure out how to transmute energy. And if I didn't do that, I was going to die. I am what most people would call a psychic empath. So I receive messages in my body and through my body. What an empath is a person who does just that, right? It's a psychic ability. It's an awareness through the emotions, right? So if someone comes to sit with me or comes to do a session at my house, I'm able to read them through what is happening in my own body. And that reflects back to them. That's why I know if they have a headache or if they have anything that's going on, I feel that very deeply in my body. So it makes me very, very good at what I do, but I also have to take really, really, really good care of myself. And I have to understand that when my system is overloaded, that I have to take a break. Because if I don't take a break, I'm going to get hurt. I've been very hurt in this work. And if you have known me for any length of time, you know that that is very true. My learning is constant. I'm constantly learning new ways of how to work with energy, to be able to strengthen my own skills and teach people who are very much like me, because there's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of us that do this, right? There's a lot of us that read people and absorb people's emotions and absorb people's stuff and take on other people's problems that just are not ours, right? And so what happens is that if we don't address it, at some point it begins to make us physically sick, right? So to become an empath, there's really two ways. There's a number of different ways, but there's two main ways, right? So the first way happens in utero. So all of the things that our mothers were going through, all of the stress, whatever it was, however she was feeling about herself. So empaths' abilities are their emotions, right? So we began absorbing our mother's emotions. So if she was stressing, that affected our chemistry. That affected how we pick up messages and what frequencies began to open up for us, okay? The other way is through trauma. Trauma makes us really good at feeling other people's energies, right? So I'm going to take you through a series of exercises that I do very, very regularly. They are a part of almost everything that I teach. They are foundational ways for you to really begin to take care of yourself energetically. And this isn't just for healers. This is for anyone that has problems with their energy safety, really, because at some point it becomes a safety issue if we're not addressing it, if we're not releasing other people's empathic energies, right? And it's not that we're meaning to do this in any sort of way. No, it's not something, it's programmed into us, right? So it's programmed at a very early age, or it's programmed through a traumatic event. And then all of our gateways, so we have empathic gateways. We have them in the sacral chakra right below our belly button. We have them in the upper right shoulder area here and in the back of our neck, right? So if you hold tension in any of these places, you might be an empath, right? And so what happens if these gateways get clogged, then at some point we begin to deteriorate, right? So it's really, really important that if you are in any sort of situation, like right now I'm looking at my screen and I see two people that work in hospitals, you know, and if you're in places where there's a lot of high intensity, right? That is going to set your nervous system to be able to react, right? Like you need to be, if your job is all about, oh, I need to be on, I need to be on, I need to be on, and you're collecting other people's stuff. So and I have got 2 friends here, who work in hospitals. You're collecting all of their stuff, other people's stuff, not just your patients, but your family members or their family members, everyone else that you're working with. So it's really, really important to have ways to clear these energies that don't belong to us, clear them, and then be able to begin repairing our own bodies, right? So we have 4 bodies: the physical, the mental, emotional, and spiritual. They're all equally important. And to neglect one is to neglect them all at some point, right? Because it's going to spill over into the others. Usually people don't begin to take care of themselves until they begin to physically deteriorate, right? So we're going to go through a little series here. Get yourself nice and comfortable. I'm going to light some herbs now too. Sprayed myself with some rose water. Rose is very, very high frequency, very good at cleansing the aura, the body, keeps things nice and cleansed. And go ahead and close down your eyes. Get nice and comfortable. Deep breath in. And I'm asking permission to open a portal of light to the highest realms. To the First Nations of everyone that is joining us here live and who will watch the replay. And to the winds of the south, Serpent. Asking Serpent to wrap her coils of light around our space, around each one of our bodies, as she begins to help us release energies that do not belong to us as easily as she sheds her skin. And to the winds of the west, Mother Jaguar, blessed, blessed Mother. I ask that she anchors courage and strength into this space, into the bodies, into the lives of everyone here. And placing her in our hearts. Into the winds of the north, sweet, sweet hummingbird, remind us of the sweetness and life that is available. May we walk gently into the winds of the east, eagle condor. Eagle helping us to see the bigger picture, and asking Condor to already begin working on us to help remove us or remove any negative energies. Condor is known as the shamans. bird. A very powerful tool that I use, a very powerful medicine, deep, deep respect and love for condor. Helps us to digest the undigestible. Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, all the star nations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Helping us to hold this space. And then Pachamama below us, sweet, sweet Mother Earth. Thank you for all that you provide, the plant people, the rock people, all the four-leggeds, the winged ones. Thank you for all of it. Long, slow, deep breath. Release any tension in the hips. And just feel the back of your chakra system, your energy system, begin to open. Easily and gently. And we're going to drop an anchoring cord from the root chakra, which is at the perineum, the sacral, grounding that creative center, down, 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 sending a cord down from the heart into the heart of Gaia. And from the third eye, that is the chakra at the brow. We feel the support. Feel the consciousness of the soil, of the rock. And all the many layers of our beautiful planet. And feel, sense, and know that Pachamama is making a sacred mud out of the element of earth, the element of water, infusing it with black tourmaline, the most protective stone on our planet, the most grounding stone on our planet. It's activating your earth star below your feet. It's going to begin to come up through the feet, opening your feet chakras. Deeply grounding, deeply nourishing on all the levels and layers of your being, making it all the way up to the root. Beginning to disintegrate any density, any heaviness, any overactivity. Moving into the sacral, nourishing, removing what is not yours to carry, not yours to hold. into the solar plexus, right at the stomach. Sacred mud. Cleansing and clearing the liver, the pancreas, the spleen, that sacred mud moving into the heart space. Clearing the front of the heart, the back of the heart, continuing to make space and room. And then into the throat. Feel it nourishing the thyroid, all the bones, all the ligaments and muscles and tendons. Clearing your communication. Healing your communication with everyone that comes into your life and your communication with yourself. See the sacred mud healing that. Feel how loving this conscious sacred mud is. And then into the third eye. Balancing cleansing, bringing in peace to all that you see, to all that you know. Clearing your vision, inner and outer. Clearing how you see yourself. How you see yourself on this planet. What it is you are wanting to make happen. Feel that mud come in, nourishing those seeds. And then sacred mud into the crown chakra, the top of the head. Balancing left and right brain. Removing any blockages. So that you are able to connect fully to your higher self, to your higher power, and feel that connection happening now. From a grounded place in your body. Long, slow, deep breath in. Feel that connection, connecting with your guides, your true guides, your higher power, your higher self, your original self. And once you make that connection, release the tension in your body. Notice anywhere you're clenching and let it go. And just like our third eye, our heart also has an eye. Go ahead and drop your mind into the heart space. Allow it to absorb heart medicine, compassion, love, peace, acceptance. Welcome in the mind to the heart space. And then go ahead and open the eye of the heart. So that you are seeing everything through that compassion, through that love, through that peace, through that joy. It's needed deeply on our planet at this time. And with the eye of the heart, go ahead and look up through the top of your head. And see a brilliant golden star with the eye of the heart. And this golden star is going to begin pouring its light into the crown, into the third eye, into the throat, into the heart, into the solar plexus, into the sacral, into the root, sending this golden starlight down the legs, out the bottoms of the feet, into the aura, or into the earth, into your aura too. Feel it clearing your empathic gateways. And deepen the breath. Awareness on the breath. Breath of life, this gift we've been given. Feel all of these medicines working all together. We're going to begin to seal this process, pulling up your anchoring cords, cleansed and cleared, cleansed and cleared, cleansed and cleared. Closing up the back of the chakras. And begin to call your energy back to you. Cleansed and cleared, cleansed and cleared, cleansed and cleared. All the way back in utero. Calling your energy back, calling your soul back from your youth. From early adulthood. Feel your strength come back to you in a whole new way. Feel your power come back to you. In a whole new way. In a very deeply grounded and centered way. Power you can wield for the betterment of humanity and the planet. The betterment of your family, the betterment of your community, your state, your country, all of the many things going on in the world. We have to be able to harness our own power, our own strength. Sealing our energy into the physical, into the mental, into the emotional, and spiritual bodies. Give it a second to settle. Long, slow, deep breath. Feel your energy settle. Welcome yourself home. Thanking all of the spirits that came and worked with us today, all of the medicines, the animal kingdom, the crystalline kingdom. Pachamama, thank you for your medicine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's thank our bodies, our minds, our spirits, as we begin a new relationship with them. We have to talk to our bodies. We have to talk to our mind. We have to talk to our emotions. We have to talk to our spirit. I promise you they will talk back. They're just waiting to be asked. Go ahead and slowly begin to open your eyes. Orient yourself back to this place and time. Maybe stretch a little bit. Write down any messages that came through for you. And as you write down anything that came through for you, I'm going to talk a little bit about this next process called the 7 blades of shadow and light. This is a practice that I do with people mostly if I feel like they have some sort of vampiric energy attached to them. So if they are being kind of like sucked up by like an energy vampire. If they're bound in any way, right? So it's a very powerful process. So long, slow, deep breath in. And out. And the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to draw a circle in front of you, just like this. Draw a circle. And this is the circle of illumination, right? A golden circle of illumination. See it, feel it, and you're going to ask the circle of illumination, enter into the part of my body, and say it out loud. Enter into the part of my body that needs clearing from vampiric energy, attachment, or marks of ownership. You're going to speak very confidently. Circle of illumination. Enter into the part of my body that needs clearing from vampiric energy, attachment, and marks of ownership. And the reason why I chose this one was because empaths have a really hard time overextending themselves. And they tend to get in these relationships that are unbalanced and unhealthy, right? And now that the circle of illumination has been placed in the body, say out loud, I invoke, I call upon the sacred shadow of light blades to enter the circle of illumination. Shadow of light, enter the circle of illumination and cleanse me of any attachments and markings of ownership. And then just breathe. Now, if you ever do this again, you can set a timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The 7 blades of shadow and light, cleansing and clearing. And if you are a healer, if you are someone that puts hands on people, or if you are someone who really, really struggles with boundaries, it's really important to constantly be cleansing and clearing your energy. I have a whole team. I have a whole team. You could feel so many different things during this process. Sometimes I get really nauseous, and I know like people have been trying to attach to me. Now you're going to hold your hands like a cup right in front of you, receiving pose if you're a yogi. Feel, sense, and know that it is filled with a bright orange, powerful, powerful, powerful orange liquid or smoke or powder. And you're going to begin pouring it all over your head. Pour it down the front, pour it down the sides. I immediately begin having chills. I can feel it working deeply. Bring it all the way up and down, down into the feet, up and down. Pour it into the heart, into the sacral, down the legs. Feel yourself coming alive. For me, this is a coming alive type thing. Pouring it into the third eye, pouring it into the heart, down the sides, down the sides. Bright, bright orange. All over until you feel so much lighter. And now I want you to take your hands. Actually, no, let's do this one instead. This one I actually posted today. What you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand and you're going to place it right in front of your high heart. And then you're going to place your right hand on top of that and then press it to the high part of your heart. Okay. And you're going to say, heart, please remove any empathic energies that are not mine and not serving me at this time. Heart, please remove anyone's energy from my physical body, from my emotions. Remove anyone else's emotions that I'm holding on to, that I'm having a hard time letting go of. Remove it through my breath, and then begin breathing very deeply. All the way down, breathing into the front of the heart. Breathing into the back of the heart. And now lay your hands very gently on the top of your thighs or beside you if you're laying down. Continuing to release any tension in the jaw, in the brow, in the third eye, in the heart space. Continuing to release those empathic energies that do not belong to you. Sending them into the light. Or sending them into the light to the proper dimension. And now we're going to ask the 7 blades of shadow and light with the circle of illumination to leave our body. So thankful, so grateful for the energetic cleansing and clearing. And beginning to bring ourselves back again to this time and space. I feel much cleaner. I feel way more alert. I know about y'all. Go ahead and write down any messages that came through for you. Anything that stood out. Write down how you feel now. Notice any differences. And at this time, if you have a question about anything, go ahead and put it in the chat. Or if you want to share what your experience was, go ahead and put it in the chat. If you have any questions about empaths, what that means, the types of empaths. You can also just raise your hand if you, can you speak on the orange color and why you use that for cleansing? So orange is associated, and I know you have a very, a very special association with orange. Orange is the color of the solar plexus. So by that, what we're doing in withholding our hands in receiving pose, what we're really doing is cleansing ourselves with our own energy, with our own confidence, with our own power. And it's just very, it's a color that really is just really good for cleansing. What are the 3 gateways? So the 3 gateways, we have 1. So these are the empathic gateways, and they are in our sacral, right? So they're right in the sacral. They're in the right side of our heart chakra, energetic gateways. And then at the back of the head, at the back of the neck, and down the shoulder blades. If you ever come and sit with me in ceremony, you know that the back of the neck, if you have long hair, I always ask you to raise your hair because I really want to get in there and cleanse that area. That's a place where energies tend to stick and can enter. And so these are the empathic gateways, are where we tend to collect other people's energies. That's where we collect other people's things, right? So if those energetic gateways get clogged, it's almost like we begin to, well, there's a lot of things that happen. There's two different things that can happen. One of, yes, Carissa. Yes, 100%. So what can happen, and I see this a lot with children all the time. So I see a lot of children in my practice, but there's two ways that empaths tend to handle this. And if you have children, this is another lesson, is that they either begin to act out, right? So they'll have like anger bursts. They'll have like, they get really frustrated really easily. They begin crying all the time, and they're just always having a really hard time. And it's literally because their senses are just overloaded. Like their whole thing is just really overloaded. The other thing that happens is that they begin to shut down, right? So once they begin to shut down, for me, that's more, I'd rather see someone get angry and, release that energy rather than being consumed by it. Right? And yes, so if you have a lot of tension in your neck and in your shoulders, adding in energetic cleansing to your daily routine, I have to do it daily. Is just a really good idea. You do it every day and your life will change. There's no other way about it. Your life will change. The way that you see everything will change. Your perception of the whole world will change when you are caring for yourself. When you don't have other people's ideas and thoughts and problems and emotions stored in your physical body. Oh. Any other questions on empathy, on empaths? On the importance of having really, really good energetic hygiene, especially if you are a healer, especially if you're going into places where there is a lot of emotion. So empaths really take on people's emotions. And then it gets kind of confusing because they can't tell, am I feeling this or is this someone else? I mean, I do this for a living. This is literally what I do for a living. And there are times where I begin to feel things and I'm like, this is not mine. And then there are times where I do get confused. And when I get confused, I know that it's time for me to step away from the scene. There are different types of empaths. Yeah. So there are functional empaths and there are dysfunctional empaths. There are the functional empaths. And then, I will say about myself that I swing back and forth, right? Now, part of being a functional empath is understanding when you're leaning or you're going into that other side. I'm what you would call a physical, I'm a very physical empath. So I feel things very deeply into my cells. I can feel what people are feeling as they're approaching my house. I can feel people's emotions when they're sitting with me. I can feel people's emotions and what they're doing in other places, in the country, in the city, in the world. And that is just, not everyone has that ability as strong. Not that I'm trying to pat myself on the back. It's a really hard one to really manage. It's really hard to manage empathy. It's really hard to manage empaths. And yeah, it makes me sick a lot. And I'm constantly having to take care of my body. When we engage with someone who has poor boundaries, or we are picking up a lot of their emotional energy, do you think it's meaningful to articulate to the person and really just continue to work with ourselves to improve our spiritual hygiene? I absolutely believe that is 100% a really good idea. Yes. So the more that we talk about this, the more that we like make it a part of like a regular conversation, it's only going to help people more, right? So if we're hiding in these places, right? And so this is what happens when people begin to cave in, right? So they're like, "Ooh, I don't want to be around that person because I'm so sensitive to that person," or "I don't want to go to that place because I don't know how I'm going to feel." It begins this whole trigger of whatever it is. So anxiety, depression, because not only does it pull us out of our communities, because that's what it really does, it begins to pull us out of our communities. I think that it's really important to be like, yeah, I'm really empathic right now, and I just don't, I'm feeling very sensitive right now, and I'm just not in a place to hold you. Yeah. Yeah. And boundaries are a big thing. So empaths also have a hard time with we tend to want to save people, right? And so our energy just does it before we even know that we're doing it. So we walk into a room and we're helping everybody energetically, and they don't even, like, we're not meaning to do it. It's not like we mean to do it. I don't mean to like jump into people's bodies. It's not something that we mean to do. It just happens, right? So the more that we understand these tendencies that we do energetically, the more we're able to protect ourselves, the more we're able to see like, ooh, like that was like I kind of like I energetically did that, or we're able to just sort of monitor ourselves better, right? So then once we're so filled, another thing that happens, so once we're so filled with other people's emotions and other people's things, it causes a lot of distress everywhere in our lives, because now we're grumpy because we're like holding on to other people's stuff. Now we're like angry, and now we're like kind of like a little bit, it's just one thing after the other. So I know when I'm feeling, so I'll just speak very openly. So I have been in the process of sort of like edging towards burnout over the past couple of weeks, right? So I'm just edging towards burnout. I've got a lot of stuff going on in my family, I have all of these things, and I'm just like, I can just feel myself like right at the edge, and any little thing could just kind of like top me over, right? So since I know that I'm right up to that edge, I have to pull myself back. I have to maintain my sovereignty. I have to maintain, and I just began to pull myself out of things, because when we're at that place, when we're at that edge of burnout, everything is super heightened, right? Everything, it's like our nervous system just becomes even more heightened. So we have to go into even extra special care. For me, it's I have to remove myself from situations that are not my problems, right? I've like spent the last 2 weeks being like, I'm sorry, that's going to have to wait. I don't have the capacity, because what it comes down to is capacity. If we're holding on to other people's problems and other people's emotions, we don't have the capacity to nurture ourselves. If we're not nurturing ourselves, we're going to burn out. So it's just like this little wheel, right? Although if I am at the edge of burnout and you come and see me, you're gonna get like the best reading ever. Because I'm so like keyed into everything. Like, woo! Yeah. Any other questions? Speak now or forever hold your pate, your what is it? Your what? Your speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, everybody. So this is the work that I do on a very regular basis. This is what I do for a living. I help people figure out how to live better lives, and especially those who are very highly sensitive, right? So empaths and highly sensitive people, very, very similar, very, very similar. I have a new program that is starting in just a few weeks. We're going to start November 14th. And if you have any interest, if you are struggling with boundaries, you don't have to want to be a healer. You don't have to want to put hands on people, but it is literally going to be 12 weeks of like an intensive boot camp of learning how to care for yourself while you care for other people, right? It is really, really important. If you sit with other people in whatever way that you do, so whether or not you're holding yoga classes or breathing workshops, or you go into a hospital or whatever it is, if you're empathic and you are not taking care of yourself, if you're not taking care of your energetic body, you're just simply not living your best life. That's really what it comes down to. You're not able to experience everything there is to experience while we're here in these flesh suits, right? Well, thank you for joining me this evening. I'm so thrilled that you all showed up and that I got to share this with you. And let me know if you have any questions about anything. You'll be receiving a few emails just following up with everything. And yeah, I will see you all soon, hopefully. Okay, great to see you. Great to see you. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.